Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind, always. This is a quote by Robin Williams, a quote I believe he related to. I'm sure most of you have seen a movie starring Robin Williams, and if you haven't, you definitely should. He is one of my favorite actors, so this speech is dedicated to him. Today, I'm going to talk about Robin Williams and how he got as far as he did. First, let's talk about how Robin got his career going. Before following his ultimate dream, according to Britannica.com, he went to Claremont Men's College to study political science. He started off taking improv classes and he absolutely loved it. To follow his dream, he switched to the College of Marin to study acting. But then something amazing happened. He received a scholarship to study at the Juilliard School in New York City. And so it began. Slowly, he got his career started. At first, he was performing at comedy clubs once he had moved back to California. And it took off. Just a few years later, he got his own television show called Mork and Mindy. It began to climb, especially when he got one of the lead roles in the movie Popeye. By the time Robin was in his late 30s, he had starred in over 9 movies or television shows. Robin not only continued his acting and comedy career, but he also continued to make us laugh. One of my favorite things about him was that many of his roles weren't serious. The less serious they were, the more they fit his personality and the better the movie or show. His all-time goal was to make his audience laugh, and he definitely did that. 9 times out of 10, he was improvising his lines, bringing out the true genius and comedian in him. According to ideas.fandom.com, Robin has won somewhere around 20 different types of awards, some including Academy Awards, Grammy Awards, Kids' Choice Awards, and many more. I think the saddest people always try their hardest to make others laugh because they know what it's like to feel absolutely worthless, and they don't want anybody else to feel like that. I believe this was Robin's most famous quote because I think that this is how he felt. August 11th, 2014, the day many fans' hearts broke. On this day, Robin was found hanging in his California home. Although suffering through many things, he kept going and he kept fighting as long as he could. Not only did he do it for his family, but he also did it for his fans. It was a mystery what he was going through. A few months after he passed, the autopsy came back and they figured out what he was suffering from. They called it the terrorist in his brain. At one point in his life, Robin suffered from a drug and alcohol addiction. However, when everything started to happen and go downhill, he was clean and sober for the rest of his time on Earth. According to n.neurology.org, the article written from the point of view of his wife's, he was fighting against LBD, Lewy body disease, and PD, Parkinson's disease. LBD is a disease associated with abnormal protein deposits called alpha-synuclein in the brain. PD is a brain disorder that can have many symptoms, many of them which Robin suffered from. The doctors actually said that Robin had one of the most severe and worst cases that they had ever seen. Slowly, the symptoms got worse and hope was lost. It was devastating for him when it got to the point where he couldn't remember his lines. During the filming of Night at the Museum 3, he could barely remember even one of his lines. When just a few years prior to that, he was in a show playing a role where he had hundreds of lines and he performed more than once a day and not one mistake. So let's sum it all up. This speech, dedicated to Robin Williams, was filled with his many amazing accomplishments, but also his very hard struggles. Although he is no longer with us physically, he will be with many of us spiritually, including me. He will forever be one of my favorite actors, no matter how long he's been gone. If you haven't watched a Robin Williams movie, I hope this convinces you to watch one. Thank you for watching.